Góðan daginn and welcome to the Project Pal. My name is Gunnhildur. I'm an Icelandic, live in Iceland, and this is my podcast, vlog, chat type of thing. We're talking mainly about yarn, about knitting and crocheting, anything fiber related, because the things that people do is just always fascinating. I also talk about the weather because middle-aged woman kind of comes with the territory. But also because the weather is interesting and it affects everything that I do. And then also because I am Icelandic and I live in my country of origin, and my country of origin is rather well known for volcanic activities and things like that. I do talk about and mention whenever there is any significant action going on in that regard, because false news is just so annoying. It's so annoying. And currently, nothing much. We're still waiting to see if is it going to be the 10th eruption around Reykjavík? When it's going to pop off, because it's going to be popping off. We just don't know exactly when, because Mother Nature does not give us a calendar. We just need to pay attention, and fortunately there are some very intelligent people who can make very good estimations, so it's like still waiting. There was a well, quite a lot of earthquakes on Friday, I think it was. Or was it Thursday, maybe? End of the last week. The strongest were around 3 on the Richter scale, and in about 24 hours, yeah, I think it was on Thursday, something like that, there were like over 400 earthquakes, so it's like a little bit shaky. And yeah, we're just waiting to see what happens next, because it just keeps bubbling up and bubbling up and bubbling up, and it's like it's gonna pop off at some time. And yes, my day trip to Reykjavík, it went fantastic. 10 out of 10. Everything worked out. Everything was just fantastic. First off, the weather all over Iceland was just so nice. It was rather warm considering we are this close to the Arctic and it's the beginning of March. This usually is snowy, but currently isn't. And so my flight, I did not have to wake up at 5. I still did, because stress. Which is kind of funny, because the first thing I had to do was catch the bus, and the first bus stop where he literally starts out is like 2 minutes down from where I live. Did not need to wake up at 5 to catch the bus at like 5 or 10 minutes to 7. I can't remember which it was, but we're still nice. Like, I was just ready for the day, and I started the day with reading a little bit, so it was so nice. So caught a bus, got to the airport. The trip was around just over an hour. I had an hour to spend at the airport, so I was reading, doing the things that you do. The flight was just over an hour again. Really nice. Read a lot in my book. That was Katie Kelleher's The Ugly History of Beautiful Things, Essays on Desire and Consumption, and I'm really liking this book. These essays are really, really interesting. They are written in a way that I really like, so I'm pleased with that. I'm not quite done with it. I think I got like maybe 3 essays left to read about. Her essay on perfume was I like that one. I just I like this. Yeah. And then when we landed in Reykjavík, fantastic weather, little sun, little warm, not too much, not too little. The first taxi driver that I got was a really nice non-Icelander. I have no idea where he's from. He handed me his phone so that I could just pick in the name of the place where I was gonna go, because he's like, I'm not really good with Icelandic so far. I'm like, not needed. We have phone. And yeah, I had a lot of hours to spend before. Was like almost 3 hours to spend before I went to see the doctor. I'm like, a lot of time. And I did get to go to one of the stores that I was talking about last time, and I bought some oil colors. So hopefully when the weather gets a little bit nicer, I should be able to start painting again, because it's just, I need it now. I'm ready to start painting again. Something, I don't know, something nice. And yeah, went to a place called Joe and the Juice, which I did Google. They are fun. We're founded in Denmark. So first time going into it, and the boy working there, he made such a good juice. It was so nice. No, I just want juice. I just want to make myself juices. So that will probably be my fixation for the upcoming months. I'm like, that's so nice. And the doctor's appointment went so well. It did less than 10 minutes, and it's really, really weird when he's like, well, he said that the gel was going to be cold, and I'm like, that is not cold. So maybe either my senses of hot and cold are off, or I just have a very different sense of what is cold. Maybe because I'm in a freezer quite a few times during the day at work. Maybe. But it's really weird to be able to just see an image of your own, like, veins. So perhaps TMI, but then again, I'm oversharing as it is. My left leg is fine, there's no damage there. My right, there's no damage below the knee, and I'm so pleased with that. The major vein that runs from basically the torso down to the leg, that one is damaged and needs to be operated on, and I already have an operation time. It's in May the 8th. So I'm like, actually looking forward to it. Which is really, really weird, because I'm not even feeling anxiety or like any proper stress over the surgery. I'm just like, when it's over, it's over. And it's gonna feel so much better. I'm like, this is such a nice way to live. Like, no anxiety or stress, or like, fantastic. So yeah, so the checkup went well. I got basically a paper of homework to do regarding the prep that I need to do for, like, before I arrive to surgery. Like, the most difficult part is the fact that I can't eat or drink anything 6 hours before the surgery. That's the biggest part, because I drink a lot of water and I can't do that before I go to surgery. I'm like, that's my biggest headache. That is so nice. This is such I live such a sheltered, nice life. It's just like, this is my biggest headache. And yeah, after that, I had lunch somewhere, didn't I? No, I had a walk from the place where the doctor is to one of my favorite bookstores in Iceland called Nexus. And that's like about 20 minutes walk away, and it was just a nice weather, and everyone was so nice. Like, every single time I had to cross a smaller street, people were stopping. And I've noticed that with my town as well in the past, like, decade. things are really, really changed. Like, I moved here over 20 years ago. In that time, I'm not gonna lie, for over a decade, I was in fear of my life if I had to, whenever I had to cross some streets in this town. Not anymore. Not anymore. Like, the current generations that are in traffic are just so much better. I trust them way more. And also they keep stopping for pedestrians. It's like so nice. And yeah, I just had such a nice, magical, relaxing day. I got to my my favorite bookstore and got to browse some books, and I bought 5 books that I did not need, but I saw them. I was like, I just went to a doctor, I'm allowed. Then I went to the bakery that's just literally upstairs from the bookstore, and I'm like, I just went to a doctor, I need a treat, I'm allowed. Got a Swiss mocha. That is one of the nicest I've ever had. Like, it was so nice and thick. The cream on top was just thick. And she put 3 different types of chocolate shavings on top. White, milk chocolate, and dark. And I'm like, I'm in heaven. And then I got a big slice of a chocolate cake called skuffukaka, which is basically it was really nice at that bakery. Like, they know what they're doing. It's basically a big chocolate cake with chocolate like icing on top with coconut not shavings but desiccated. I think, no wait, that's another thing. Sprinkles of coconut on top, and these are most often baked in like pans, which is why we call them skuffukaka in Icelandic, because skuffa refers to the pan. So it's a pancake. That's not it. That is not it. Pancake is something completely different. No. But yeah, you got this like baking pan, which in Icelandic is referred to as skuffa. Well, anyway, it was really nice, really juicy, really fantastic. So that was a day well spent. And then I called a taxi because I'm like, got more than 2 hours to go before my flight is scheduled. And I'm like, I can just spend that at the airport, the domesticated airport, because I quite like that. They have a little cafeteria that is, I like sitting there, is small and cozy. And the taxi driver that I got, we were talking so much that he forgot to put the start the counter. We were talking about ghost stories and ghostly happenings in a particular part of Iceland called Kjölur, which was one of the major like roads, not really a road, but like thoroughfares, like where people were used to travel back in the day before we really had roads. So road in that sense, but not road as in, anyway, I think you know, understand what I mean. So yeah, we were talking about ghosts so much that he forgot to get the clock ticking. This was fine because he had actually just picked up a lady from the airport and dropped her off to another doctor nearby, which is why he got the call when I was like, can I get a taxi? So he went to pick me up, and I'm like, I just been to a doctor and I'm now going to the airport. And he's like, what are the odds? But yeah, it's a lot of fun talking with him because a good ghost story is just fantastic. I have never been to that place myself. It's this like a cabin that the people stay at often, like when traveling on walks and things like that. And there's a bunker bed that is considered extremely haunted. And there's a lot of people who have, I googled it on the airport later on when I said goodbye and paid my fare. But I googled it, and there's a lot of people who have just fled this cabin in the last years, in the decades. And I'm like, who? And he was like, he's an adult man. He's like probably 60 something. Not quite retirement, but inching closer. And he's been a tour guide all over the country like several times. So he knows a lot of stories, and he was there when he was a child. With another boy. It was very common back in the day in Reykjavík that the families would send their children to farms over the summertime. I'm sure that other countries have done the same. And in that case, they were at this place because they were herding. Yeah, they were herding sheep. And that takes time. So they stopped at this cabin, and of course, them being two boys, they were made to sleep in that bunk bed. Because that's what adults do. It's like traumatized children with ghost stories. But yeah, very fascinating to learn about that place, but very nice to meet that man. It was so much fun to speak with him. So yeah, and then when I was going to, when I had right back the airport, I met two men who were traveling together. One of them is American, and the other is from Austria. They are co-workers, they are friends, and they have been traveling. I think this is like the second time that they come to Iceland, and they were gonna do some traveling. I'm like, fantastic, nice weather. And they go into my part of the country. I'm like, have fun. And then I realized that they had to change the airplane, because originally when I was putting in my order for the the flight, when I was picking seats, the original picture came for a smaller plane with like 9 rows of seats, and I'm like, damn it. Not my most favorite, but get what you get. But there were so many people traveling that they had to change the original plan. So I got the same plane as I had in the morning. And her name is Hallgerður Langbro, because domestic planes are named after very popular, very famous, very notable female women from the Icelandic sagas. So I'm like, eek. And I quite like this plane. It's not too loud and it's reliable. It doesn't make any extra noises. I'm like, but yeah, that was fun. And of course I was real tired, and my little veins were hurting in the evening and the day after. So I'm like, yeah, I definitely feel that. All that traveling, like, that did a thing. But I'm better now. I'm feeling a lot better. I got some rest. I got a lot of rest, so. But yeah, I didn't bring any like knitting or crocheting with me because, well, I would have to carry it around. So I'm like, but I did bring a book, so I wasn't bored. But I am really, really close to finishing the second shawl. I'm like, I should be able to finish it this night. Like, I only got like, yeah, hopefully tonight or tomorrow night. We'll see how things go. So that will be, I will be halfway finished with my little project of crocheting like Christmas shawls for myself and my sisters. I'm not sure if I'm gonna start on the second shawl straight away, or if because I'm really, really tempted, and I really, really would like to. I should probably prioritize that right now, because these aren't really in a rush straight away. I would like to get these finished before summer, because then I can, weave in the ends, wash them, and have them prepared so I can, you know, ship them off in a very timely manner. But what I really, really want to get working on is what I was gonna make last year, and that's like little Easter eggs. To crochet some very lovely Easter eggs that I bought this yarn last year. I probably talked about it last year. These are Drops Air, and I'm gonna try to remember to link the partners down below. The things that I'm excuse me, thinking about making with these. Like make a bunch of cute little eggs that I can decorate like the staircase, stairwell, blah, 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 whatever you call it. So it's like a little Eastery, little springy, little like colorful, both for ourselves and for our neighbors, because the little family downstairs, they absolutely do not mind when we do something like that. So, and something like small and nice, and just something fairly easy to make. I'm like, this sounds nice. Yeah. I didn't buy anything crafting related. I did see some books in Nexus, but I wasn't really taken with any of them. There were also little kits, like crochet kits to make amigurumi. Like there was, I think it was Dolly Parton and Taylor Swift, and I'm like tempted, but not tempted enough. We'll see in May, because I will obviously need to go in beginning of May for my surgery, so maybe I'll have some time to go check it out again. See how it goes. But yeah, everything has been going well. Weather has been fantastic, and I am really, really getting excited about spring. I know, we're in Iceland, so it's been really, really nice, the weather, but I know there's gonna be more snow before. It's probably gonna be like end of March, April. Like it has been, snow for the past years. Like, I have a terrible memory when it comes to years, but I should really remember this. But a few years ago, when the avalanche hit my town, if you're new here, it's fine. Nobody was hurt. Well, we didn't lose anyone, but my nephew was the one who was most worst injured, because he has permanent damage in his back because of the avalanche. But everyone's alive, and for the most part everyone is fine except for my nephew. But that was at the end of March, beginning of April when that was. So we're still in the season of we could have a lot of snowfall suddenly, and that's just something that we need to keep in mind. But yeah, we're not gonna be stressy, depressy, messy about it. Let's just keep our heads up and keep our smiles on and just be optimistic, because that's how we function. And yeah, other things. Oh yeah, I have placed an order by a British seed company called Thompson & Morgan. Pronunciation, I would say sorry if it wasn't just a language thing. They are a British company, and they ship to Iceland, which I am really, really happy about, because I would like some new seeds for like vegetables and herbs and some flowers. And it's getting a little bit spring, so hopefully that's, something will stay alive. And yeah, maybe we'll have some like salads and greens and tomatoes and radishes and carrots. Which is gonna be really interesting because we don't have a garden, we have balconies, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Currently, I have also been tidying up a little bit in my nooks and crannies. Like, I'm not going overboard. I literally just went over like one shelf in one of the closets, one shelf, and I found things to donate and some things that I could just throw away, and something that I'm a little bit confused about because I'm pretty certain that there was another thing that those things went with, but I can't find that thing, so I'm like, and excuse me, still have some cough after the flu, so that's the worst thing about when you get the flu. If you get the cough is there for weeks afterwards. It's like, I'd rather get fever, because when it's done, it's done. No more fever, please. My quota is done. But yeah, so I've got some things to donate to a local charity shop. I've also gone over my books a little bit and found some books that hopefully someone will find interesting, that either I didn't like, or I didn't dislike, but I'm not going to be rereading, and I'd rather that those books be out there for someone else to discover and enjoy. That's kind of the point with books. Books should be read. So I will be adding to my local charity shop. Definitely some more things I could go, but one step at a time. Still have quite a few things to go over. But yeah, I think that about wraps up what I want to talk about this time. So I am continuing with the shawl. I am so close to finishing it. I'm like, there's so little left to do. And I'll probably be working on the little X next. Because that would be really nice to get those up and about and in the staircase, because I really like putting things up where the neighbors can see them, because the neighbors like it. So that is a little update on me this weekend. Yeah, everything has been a-okay and fantastic, so hopefully that just keeps going that way. And yeah, I will let you know if anything happens with the currently about to be active volcano, and if there's any others that decide to be like, yo, we want some attention. So I will let you know. And other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I hope that life is as good to you as it possibly can be, hopefully better, and I will hopefully see you again next weekend. Okay, until then, take care. Bless.